Today I'm going to tell you what haunted houses I think are coming to Halloween Horror Nights 2024 at Universal Studios Hollywood. Hello everybody and welcome back to Exploring Attractions. My name is Scott and you're watching your stop for all things theme park and attraction related. And in today's video we're going to be talking about Halloween Horror Nights 2024. This will be my first official speculation video, kind of just throwing out different things I think have potential to be either featured in a haunted house this year at Halloween Horror Nights, or to be featured in some other form or fashion. And I did take a lot of input from you guys because I put up a little poll and a questionnaire on all of my social platforms, which if you're not following us, please do so by clicking the links down below in the description. So let's jump into our first speculation video of 2024 for HHN this year. Like I say in every speculation video, none of this is confirmed or official or anything like that. These are just random speculations that I'm throwing out there. I have no idea what's coming this year, so just take that as you will. One that pops out to me right away is, of course, Abigail. So, Abigail, if you don't know, Abigail is a brand new movie coming out. I believe it comes out this week, I want to say, where essentially this group of criminals kidnap this girl from this really rich guy, and then this girl turns out to be, well, a vampire. And this vampire wreaks havoc on everybody and obviously probably kills some of them. And this is actually a Universal produced movie, which looks actually fairly good. Now, we haven't seen the movie quite yet, so we can't really tell whether or not this is HHN content for like a haunted house experience. However, just from the trailer, it seems like it would fit in a haunted house. So yeah, will we see some form of vampire haunted house this year, or could it turn into like a Universal Monsters Dracula themed haunted house with vampires and everything? And then they can kind of cross promote, even though it's not necessarily the same thing, they could cross promote the movie, whether it be on the Terror Tram or stuff like that. I think Abigail could fit as its own haunted house this year. But honestly, like I said, we'll have to wait to actually see the movie to see whether or not there's enough content in there for it to fit in a house. Another one that pops into my head when thinking about Horror Nights this year and just thinking about stuff that's coming out this year is Beetlejuice. We're able to see Beetlejuice over at HHN Orlando during that short pandemic year, which is unfortunate because I literally left like 2 weeks before they opened that up for a couple weekends. And then I didn't get to see it the year after, nor did it come to Hollywood, so that was a little bit of a bummer. There was a lot of talk on whether or not Warner Brothers was involved in the decision of them not bringing Beetlejuice to Hollywood. Just all speculation, but that was the talk of the town. But there is a brand new movie coming out this year. It's Beetlejuice, or Beetlejuice number 2. And the trailer, the little teaser trailer that they shared, gets me so excited for this movie. Like, you guys don't understand. I literally have a Beetlejuice tattoo. I love this movie so much, and I cannot wait to see Beetlejuice later this year. And if we say it one more time, then he may spawn behind us. Or maybe he'll spawn in a haunted house this year, because I think if they were to release a second movie this year, and they're getting ready to release a second movie, why not build off the hype of that and put it in a haunted house for Horror Nights? However, like I said, there is that disconnect between Warner Brothers and Universal as far as HHN goes, so we'll have to see what it comes down to. But I definitely think it would be a huge opportunity for both of them to kind of cross-promote each other, and really everybody wins in that scenario. You get more people going to the movie, and you get more people going to Universal to see if they can survive the Beetlejuice haunted house. But that's just one that kind of just makes sense in my head. Like I said, I did put out a little questionnaire to everybody on what you guys think and what your predictions are, and some of the answers surprised me and some of the answers did not. One featured Last of Us Part 2, which this one kind of surprised me. While I think that Last of Us was very popular last year and it was definitely, if not the most popular haunted house last year, I don't think that they have any intention of doing part 2. However, it would make sense for them as far as budget-wise goes, and I definitely think they can capitalize on that a lot, especially since The Last of Us house was so good last year, and it was so detailed and followed the storyline perfectly. Another one that I saw was, of course, a Larry Larva form of haunted experience. We saw Larry Larva make his grand debut on the Exterminators Terror Tram last year, and this disgusting yet cartoony and fun character, if you will, or icon you could say, fit right into that kind of Hollywood unofficial icon type of deal. You obviously have Hollywood Harry, and now you have Larry Larva. I think Larry Larva and just an exterminator's haunted house would fit perfectly at HHN, whether it be this year or somewhere down the road. Hollywood does capitalize off these unofficial icons, and I think that they could capitalize off utilizing Larry Larva again. And honestly, it was a perfect character. It was disgusting, it was gross, and most importantly, it was scary. And you can kind of tie in the comedic aspects into a haunted house as well, or maybe even bring back the Exterminator Scare Zone from way long ago and have Larry Larva featured in it. And then when they do those little ceremonies throughout the night, you could have Larry Larva be the one that's talking. And then another one that I saw was Creature from the Black Lagoon, and I feel like the reason for the prediction on Creature from the Black Lagoon is because when HHN in Orlando was teasing an announcement, and really they just announced dates and everything and tickets, the kind of preview merch area had nothing but Creature from the Black Lagoon Universal Monsters merch around it. So I feel like there's some connection there as far as what the Universal Monsters house will be for this year, because I think no doubt that Murdy is probably planning another Universal Monsters house. I think he really likes doing them, and I think they're well received by the fans, other than of course Unmasked last year, which wasn't the greatest house ever. But I think that they're well received because it gives fans an opportunity to see classic monsters, and one that general public all know. I think Creature from the Black Lagoon is one that I've been asking for since they have started doing the Universal Monsters houses. I really hope that there is some truth to them putting the merch in Orlando, and hopefully it's like a cross haunted house there. But I mean, when you're celebrating 60 years of the studio tour, and a part of that 60 years is literally the lake in which they film most of the Creature from the Black Lagoon film, that would also be the perfect tie-in right there. Just please, I would love to see Gilman in his own haunted house. He deserves it. But I mean, speaking of the 60th anniversary, we all know that the big celebration is coming up, and we will be attending a very special event covering all that fun stuff, so stay tuned and subscribe if you want to see that. But honestly, they could do some form of 60th anniversary Terror Tram celebration. Now, the Terror Tram has not been around for 60 years. Let's get that clear, and before anyone comments that down below. However, it is the 60 years of the studio tour, and what does the studio tour host during the spooky season? It hosts a Terror Tram. Why not have some spin on the Bates Motel, or maybe even some form of spin on the War of the World sets? Or maybe you have a demented Vin Diesel running out of the Fast and Furious Supercharged attraction. All jokes aside though, I do think that it would be a huge opportunity for Universal to do some form of like anniversary celebration to kind of celebrate the studio tour while they are doing that celebration during summer. Also continue the celebration going into Horror Nights. A couple other properties that have been thrown around are of course Nightmare on Elm Street. There's a connection between the facade that's currently going up and the original Elm Street house, and then Ghostbusters, just because of the new movie that has recently come out, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and there's been rumors. The rumor mill has been stirring a whole lot, which I haven't really looked into too much this year, just because I want to be surprised by the lineup. I feel like every single year the lineup gets leaked, or there's stuff that's just popped up on the website. For me this year, and the reason why I haven't been like talking about the speculation maps a lot, is because I want to be surprised this year, and I kind of want to just have fun like this and do wild predictions for Horror Nights. So yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street and Ghostbusters have been ones that have been thrown out there, and I kind of want to pinpoint on one that I do think is a huge possibility this year out of any of them, and that is of course another Urban Legends Latin themed haunted house. The big reason I say this is because last year when we were doing the behind the scenes tour with John Murdy, creative director of Halloween Horror Nights, he talked about how regardless of what year it may be, if the popularity and demand is still there for these Latin American themed haunted houses, then they will keep bringing them back. And obviously with Monstros last year, it was very popular, very well received, and of course the whole Universal Plaza section transforms during the spooky season, and you have La Llorona running around there. I think that the popularity is there, and I think that there's probably a huge possibility of us getting another Latin haunted house this year, just from connecting the dots and just from Murdy talking about that and the behind the scenes tour last year. And I do hope they keep coming back, because for me, the past two that they've done have definitely been in my top 5 of all-time favorite houses at Horror Nights. I mean, that La Latruza animatronic that they did in last year's Monstros house was absolutely incredible. You don't see that at any other haunt event out there. But that is kind of just like my spitball early prediction for Horror Nights this year. And I want to know down below in the comments section what you think of HHN 2024 this year, as far as what properties you think will be featured. But everybody, that's going to do it for today's video and HHN speculation. If you're new here, please subscribe with those bell notifications on, and leave this video a like down below if you did enjoy it. And as always, follow all of our social platforms, Instagram and X. But my name is Scott, and you've been watching Exploring Attractions, Positivity is Key, and most importantly, remember to keep exploring. Peace out, everybody.